Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is a channel that is dedicated to focus on your mindset and your entrepreneurship, bring the two together and create success in both aspects of your life. And in today's video, we are talking about something that is my superpower, and if I'm honest, my husband calls me an alien for this, and the majority of people that know me do question how I can use my time as wisely as I do. So this video is all about my time management tips to create success and productivity in your life and your business. Now, the first thing I want to tell you is time management is nothing new. The tips I'm going to be sharing with you are not out of this world, and they're not things that are probably very unique to what you've heard before, but what they are going to do is give you my personal experience and how I implement these strategies into my business, my time and my life. And for you, time management could be something that you really struggle with. You might have spurts of really amazing productive times, and you then might have spurts of total demotivation and just lackluster, lethargic, not wanting to do anything. You might find that actually you have all of this energy, but you don't know where to start. You don't know where to put your time. You don't know where to begin, and you don't know how to use your time as wisely as possible. So therefore you procrastinate, you delay, you don't do what you should be doing, you do things for way too long than they should take you, and the rest of it. So there are so many things around time management that can affect all of us in a lot of different ways. But for me, I want to try and break this down into 5 simple tips about time management and how it can work for you. The reason I'm doing this and doing this video is because time management for me when I first started my business was absolutely essential. I started my business, launched my coaching business and all of my social media when I still had a full-time teaching job. So I would have to work for 10 hours every day, Monday to Friday, plus see my friends, have a social life, spend time with Luke, and also try and run a business. And you will know, if you are in this industry, it's really hard when you first get started in your first year, because you need to market yourself, come across as the expert, project yourself to new people, network, find clients, build your brand, build your business, build your name, build your following and community, and get yourself out there. And that takes time and it takes consistency. But when you still have a job or other commitments, which some of you probably do, that time gets spread even thinner. And if you're not careful, you can risk burning out or becoming really overwhelmed because you have so much to do. So in my experience and how I use my time, I was able to master time and make it work for me. And in these tips, I really hope that it can allow you to spend the most productive use of time on your business, but also allow you time to spend with your friends, your family, and just to relax, because that for your mindset is really important. The first top tip I want to share is you have to plan ahead. So often we can find ourselves in a situation where we are very reactive with our time. We think about the fact, right, it's Thursday, so that means this weekend I need to do X, Y, and Z. I've got to get everything done. I've got to do so much. And therefore there's this real added pressure to the time that you've got, the limited time available, and how much you have to get done. Or we become very reactive when we realize how much time we've wasted, and then we try and do too much in such a short space of time. So we have this very panicky, really impulsive set of actions. If you start to plan ahead, we allow for the following things to happen. You allow yourself some flexibility and freedom with your time. If you plan ahead, so you plan for the month, you know what you're trying to get done and achieve by the end of the month. You know what you're launching, you know what your products are, you know what your targets are, you know what you're trying to achieve. You can then plan for the whole month. Do not wait until the day before to think about what you're going to do with your time. Because, for example, today I'm filming a few videos, but I didn't start filming until about 2, and I had a couple of hours just watching TV, to be honest. But because I'm planning ahead, I'm actually filming these videos for you now 3 weeks ahead of time. So it gives me some flexibility and freedom in what I'm creating. It allows me the time to take a step back and make sure that I'm showing up at my very best, relaxed, energized, and focused. If you are not planning ahead with enough time ahead of you, you will find yourself being very, very impulsive, quick, and rash with how you use your time. What you need to think about is this idea of flexibility and freedom with your time. And the only way that's going to come is if you plan enough ahead that you allow yourself some time and forgiveness when you don't feel like doing things at 100 miles an hour and when you do need a break. So it's really important to recognize that, and it's really important, honestly, if you take nothing away from this video apart from make sure you are planning ahead of time and being proactive with your time, not reactive, that will suit me down to the ground, because planning has changed everything for me. And that probably comes from my background as a teacher, and in my life, planning, being organized is always something that I've been very, very good at, but now it serves me really well, and it shows the power of planning and how much it really can make a difference to you, but definitely to your business, to your clients and your community when you show up, and to the content that you're putting out there. The second tip I've got for you is, it does follow on from what I've shared, you must allow yourself downtime. Schedule in time every single week that you have downtime. My example of this is, since starting my business, my relationship with Luke is very different, because I don't have every single evening to just chill out and watch TV and now watch Netflix, which we've only had for about 6 weeks now. If you have any recommendations, put them below. So it changed our relationship a lot. And it did mean that for us as a couple, we had to change the way we spent our time, because I now obviously do coaching, I've got content to create, I now have YouTube, there's so much going on for the business as it expands. We now have Wellness Wednesdays. So every single Wednesday, we don't have phones, we don't make plans, and we sit and spend time together. It could be watching a program together on the sofa, it could be having dinner by the table, it could be going out for dinner, but we spend time together on Wellness Wednesdays. So I know no matter how busy I am and what I've got going on, Wednesday evenings I spend with Luke with no distractions and nothing else to do. If you like the idea of Wellness Wednesdays, please introduce it into your life with your partner or on your own. You have to schedule in time where you are having downtime. And the reason that I say about scheduling is not because everything needs to be really, really structured, but when you work for yourself and you do have an online business, if you don't have this structured time and be really strict with your time, you can find yourself so quickly going for your phone, checking Instagram, scrolling, looking at your DMs, checking your inbox, doing your emails, doing one quick post, and then you very quickly lose half an hour by the mindless social media activities that you could be doing. So scheduling in downtime will 100% allow you to manage your time most effectively, but also look after your mind, look after your body, and look after your relationships, which is so important. It's no use creating success if you don't spend time enjoying it. So please allow yourself downtime. My third top tip is, can you create blocks of time or even days to do things rather than do small things often? So for example, with YouTube filming, I will film every Friday afternoon or Saturday morning. I won't do any other filming in the week, because I find that by the time I've shot all the B-roll, I've filmed the video, I've done the thumbnails, I've added it all to my Google Drive for my YouTube manager, by the time I've done all of that, that does take me a few hours. If I was to do that 2-3 times a week, that eats into a lot of time that I could be doing other things. I could be spending on social media with my clients, emails. So can you give yourself big blocks of time that you can create content or create bigger things that need to be done, like courses or online workshops and masterclasses, so that you aren't doing the same task frequently, and therefore you can become demotivated, distracted, and you lose momentum. And there are so many tips about chunking, time blocking, doing only 20 minutes and chopping and changing, varying your tasks, doing 2 tasks at the same time, an easy one and a hard one. There are so many tips, and I'm in no way saying that these are the only tips out there, but what I am saying is these tips have worked for me very well. They work for my clients, and they allow you to create more free and flexible time. Time management isn't just being productive, it's managing all of your time. The time when you're working and the time when you are relaxing. So the most important for me that I want to share with you is, can you create periods of time where you are going to be in your office, at your computer, in front of the camera, creating, and periods of time where you are not doing that? That will alleviate a lot of the pressure of feeling like every single day there are 2 or 3 really big things to get done, and you always feel like you're chasing your tail. So through planning, through allowing downtime, and through giving yourself big chunks of time to get those big tasks done and really get momentum and get into the flow, you will allow yourself more flexibility and freedom with your time. My 4th top tip for you is, can you create a consistent schedule? So for me, it becomes habitual. If you are able to create consistent uses of your time and this consistent energy and consistent scheduling, it will allow you to just feel a lot less stressed and worried about time and getting everything done. And it can be, let's just be really honest here, time can be overwhelming. Getting everything done can be overwhelming. Feeling like you're on top of things isn't always possible. So can you create consistency? This for me means I have coaching calls on a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, no Mondays, no Wednesdays, no weekends. I do my filming on Fridays and Saturdays. I do all of my course creation, anything I need to send to my assistant, I do all of my admin on Friday. So in my week, I know that on Mondays, I can just show up online if I want to, and on Wednesdays I have Wellness Wednesday, Monday I also do yoga. So in my week, and including my weekends, I have some consistency in my schedule. My client calls are all booked in for the same day at the same time for the whole of their 9 or 6 months. So I know when I'm speaking to someone for a whole period of time, every single week, every other week, at the same time, on the same day. That consistency frees up a lot in my mind, and this is the key shift I want you to make. The more things change for you, the more your brain needs to try and conceptualize. So if you are able to create consistency and habits, your brain doesn't have the same level of alertness that it potentially needs to have if things continue to vary. So time management in your business for the freedom and the flexibility that you want, and the freedom and the flexibility you want to feel in your mind and in your thoughts, you need to create some consistency in your time and your schedule, and it needs to be able to become habitual. So obviously things will happen sporadically. One of my clients at the moment isn't very well, so we haven't had our call today, but I know that we'll be able to schedule that in because I know that I have a consistent habitual schedule that allows me to have these pockets of time where I know where I'm available and I know when I'm not. I know what is non-negotiable to me. So stop seeing time as this commodity that you need to overcome and you need to conquer, and start seeing time as something you can work with and create a relationship with your time. Create a relationship with the time that you have in every day so that you can come to time at a proactive, positive approach, rather than feeling panicked, overwhelmed, and always on the back foot, chasing your tail and like you're not in control. Time isn't something that you need to keep hold of, it's something that you need to work with, something you can create a relationship with, and something that you can and are able to use to your advantage. And my final top tip for you is, do you have periods of time where you're doing tasks that are quick but we're taking a really long time doing them? Or do you have periods of time where you're doing something and it seems really simple, but for some reason you're just not getting it? It just doesn't seem to be working and it's just taking you a really long time. What you really need to think about now is, now I've given you 4 things that you can really start to take away and put into action now. You need to think about, when are you at your best? When do you know that you can use your time wisely and in the right energy, so it doesn't feel really forced and it doesn't feel really kind of heavy, that feeling that you get when you're doing something and you just don't seem to be getting anywhere? So for me, I absolutely love working in the mornings. I love getting up, getting things done, and just starting the day right. You might love working at nighttime when your house is peaceful, there's quiet and calm, and you can focus. But use all of the tips I've given you in your life, in the time that works for you, and with your energy. So make sure that you are using all of these tips to chunk your time, to give yourself downtime, to plan ahead in the schedule that works for you, because you might not want to do filming on a Friday. You might not want to have clients on a Thursday and a Friday. You know, it's totally up to you. But you have to start seeing time as something you can work with rather than it work against you, and start to think about how you can get time into your life and working with you, rather than you always feeling like you're having to react to the time that it is. And when you look at your time and you think, oh my gosh, we don't want that. You want to be able to look at the time, know what's coming, feel prepared and feel planned. So, time management, my 5 tips so that you can spend 2019 in your business and your mind creating success, growth and positivity. That's what we want for your time. Freedom and flexibility are at the key. They really are the underlying message of all about time management for me. So I hope you like and subscribe to this channel. Tell anyone that you know that isn't a master of their time to come and watch this video. And any questions and comments that you've got, please put down below. And I can't wait to see you on the next episode.